I'm in a game. I'm in a game. Hello, I'm in a video with my daddy.
What's going on, everybody? So today we are going to be interviewing JD's House of Hobbies. So John's going to be on. We'll get to know him a little bit, and then we'll see how this goes. We were having some technical issues, so I don't know what it's going to be live once we go live. So hopefully everything's fixed and we got it up and going. So hopefully. How's it going, John?
It's going good.
So first off, plug all your channels. I think you even have a Facebook page, right?
Yeah, I have a Facebook page. I got an Instagram. The Instagram is WP Zephyr something or other. I follow Jason, Blue Ox Model Shop, and Rusty Rotor, Rick. Follow him. Facebook is just a lot of personal stuff. It's not much modeling stuff on it, but
Oh, okay. I got you.
but a lot of the people that are on my Facebook page aren't really like modelers or anything. They're just like friends and family and stuff. And I bitch and complain about work.
Oh, okay. So it's a normal Facebook account.
Normal Facebook account, yeah.
So explain the name, because you're not just into model cars, and I think that has something to do with it, right?
Yeah, JD, my initials, and then yeah, didn't know what to call it because I do more than model cars. I do like sci-fi and stuff, and I do model trains. Eventually, I'll get more model trains on there, but that's my first love. That was the only hobby I got to keep. It would be trains because I've loved trains since I was a kid, and all the other stuff, model cars and stuff, was just bonus.
I get that. Well, that's cool. How long have you been on YouTube? Because this is where not very long, right?
No, I have been on. I wrote this down because I knew you would ask. I have been on YouTube since November of 2011, I think. I have to
Well,
look again.
you've had an account, right?
Yeah, I've had an account. And I've been posting videos for a while. Yeah, November 6th, 2011.
Okay, that's cool.
So, but when I first started it, it had a different name because
Okay.
I started it because I wanted to comment on videos and whatnot, and
Yeah.
I just couldn't figure out what name I wanted to use, so I used an old AOL screen name I had, and I regret it now because Wicked Seafood does not get people to watch your videos. So I decided I decided when I really wanted to do this seriously, I wanted to change it, and I was contemplating a bunch of other names, and I figured, JD's House of Hobbies is pretty much sums up what I do anyway. So, and I don't do, like I said, I don't just do model cars. I do trains and sci-fi and stuff like that. So
I actually didn't know you were into trains till I started watching some of your videos.
oh
So
yeah.
I have some questions for you, but let's go into the model car stuff first. What's some of your favorite model stuff that you like to do?
I like model steps or stuff.
Stuff.
I'm really big. I love Japanese cars. There's a guy that I follow on YouTube. His name is Daniel O'Grady, and he has a channel called Wasabi Cars. He's Australian and he lives in Japan. and he posts videos of all these really cool Japanese cars. And since he lives in Japan, he gets to see a lot of cars that we didn't got here in the States. So I love watching his channel, and he's got your regular like 510s and Toyotas and stuff like that. But he posts a lot of cars that, you know, like the 310 Bluebird that I built for the small scale group build. He's done videos of those he's seen. Because old cars in Japan, I guess, are really a rare thing because it's expensive to keep them. So
Right. Yeah.
he posts stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. It's the quirky nature of some of the Japanese stuff that's really cool.
So basically, have you seen videos of Japan where they have like shops, like it's like a city block of just nothing but model shops?
Yeah, James Tester. I haven't got a chance to watch it, but I think he went to Japan and did some videos of some hobby shops. Some people have gone to, like I guess Tamiya has a company store in Tokyo, I think. But they've been posting stuff. God, those old stuff. I haven't got a chance to watch James's videos. I'd like to watch those because I think they'd probably be very cool.
Okay, so you're into cars. So what is, other than what scale cars are you into?
All of them. I'm easy. I mostly build, 1/24th, 1/25th scale. I have some large scale cars. I think I got a 1/16th or a 1/8 scale Camaro and Firebird kit. The old monogram. I think one's an IROC. The Camaro's an IROC, and the Firebird's a GTA.
Oh, okay.
I have a lot of stuff that I bought when I was really, really into modeling cars. Back when I was still married, like 30 years ago, 25, 30 years ago, I was buying a lot of kits, and I still have them that are unbuilt. They're just, they got squirreled away. So, but I like all scales. It doesn't matter really what it is. I just build what I like.
And mostly you're just into cars, right?
Right. I build cars. I started a plane a few years ago because another YouTube channel I was watching, he builds a lot of World War II aircraft and stuff, and I was watching his channel, and I decided I was going to give an airplane a try, and I started a Zero. It didn't finish because life gets in the way of fun. So I ended up putting it in the box. I still have it somewhere.
Nice.
But I have ship models, a couple of ship models. I have a lot of Star Wars stuff. I love Star Wars. So I have like a bunch of Star Wars figures. I have a couple of Star Trek models. Just stuff in my stash that I haven't had time to get to.
So what Star Wars stuff do you have? Because there's some cool Star Wars stuff.
I have, most of my stuff, the Star Wars stuff I have is all Bandai kits.
Okay.
When I was in the hospital a few years ago, I built a TIE fighter. I built, because they're all snap kits I could build in the hospital. And I got a TIE fighter, Vader's TIE Advanced. I have a B-Wing and an A-Wing, and just stuff. I haven't gotten to building them because, time is not something I have a lot of. The Star Trek stuff is like the, I don't know who makes them. I think Polar Lights makes one. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I have like the 50th anniversary of the Enterprise kit that I have it's in a box. I haven't started it yet.
Yeah, that you need a lighting kit for though.
I'm tempted. That's kind of one of the reasons why. There's a lot of I watch what's his name? He does a lot of Star Trek models. His name escapes me. I'm having a brain fart.
Trekworks?
Yes, him.
Yeah, Boyd's a good guy.
Yeah, Boyd, that's his name. I couldn't remember. I knew it was a B name, but I couldn't remember what it is. I subscribe to his channel. I watch a lot of his videos. I would love to light up an enterprise. He's got a lot of good tutorials about how to do it. So it's one of those things that it's going to be when I get, my skills are a little better. Because till recently, I haven't really built anything because I've been too busy and moving around and stuff like that.
So what are some of the tools and stuff you like to use for the hobby?
Uh,
I'm sure it's different for the railroad stuff, right?
yeah, it can cross over. Like if I build a building kit, all the normal stuff like apply for like building a car, nippers and cement and stuff like that, and an airbrush. I haven't used an airbrush to paint any model trains yet. That's something I'm looking forward to because I have plans for some of the stuff that I have. I know people always talk about God hand sprue nippers are expensive, but you get what you pay for. I love them. I have those. I have Tamiya nippers and some of the old, Xeron.
Yeah, I think that's the name of it. Yeah.
I have those, but what I like about the Tamiyas and the God hands is the tip is so small you can get right in between the sprue tree and the part and not have to worry about anything getting damaged and everything. I've had my God hands for a long time. They're great.
But my problem with the God hands is they are super, super fragile.
That's what I've heard. I mean, I hadn't had a problem with mine, but I mostly use my Tamiya nippers most of the time. So I haven't, like I said, I haven't broken any. That's what I have. I think my Enterprise is a 1/350th. Is it 1/350th scale? And then I noticed that Brian BG is building a 1/1000th scale Yamato kit, the Bandai Yamato kit, and I have a bunch of those kits. I have all of the Bandai Yamato kits, Space Battleship Yamato kits I have are all 1/100 or 1/1000 scale, and I love them. I want to build mine so bad. I just got to get around to it.
So what kind of paint and stuff are you using?
I use mostly Tamiya and Vallejo, mostly acrylics because I spray in my house. When I work on my Toyota, my Chaser kit, I'm going to probably use, I've got a couple of small square bottle enamel testers paints, dark red, that I'm going to paint it. I don't normally paint that kind of stuff in the house. I haven't. If I want to airbrush something, I have to do it outside because my airbrush or my spray booth can't move enough air to get that kind of a spray can's worth repelling out of my house. So I'd have to go outside and do it. But that's okay. That's what I used to do all the time when I was a kid. Spray paint outside. So
Nothing wrong with that. So what aerosol cans are you using? Just the Tamiya stuff, or?
I still have a bunch of old tester stuff. It's in the other room, in my build room. But I have like the old testers, spray enamels and stuff like that, and sometimes I used I painted my 59 El Camino. I actually painted, I think, with automotive color. I think it's a turquoise. I have some. I have a Camaro kit that I actually want to paint. The GM Hyper Blue, I think is the color it's called. That real dark blue that Camaros came in. I have a can of that I'm going to use to paint that. I think I painted an Impala, automotive. I think it's a lacquer. And people say, you can't do that. It's going to melt the plastic. And I didn't have a problem, and I never primered anything back then. Me working now or building now. I'm doing a lot more body prep that I never used to do. Primering I never used to do. I used to just spray right on the plastic, and watching everybody, all their painting guides and everything. I've it's like, yeah, okay, I could do this and make my models look a little bit better, because some of my old models have got like a lot of orange peel and stuff like that, because I just blasted the paint out of the can and didn't know anything about sanding after you painted it or anything like that. Or some of my models have got clear coats and the clear coat is yellowed because they're so old.
Right. Well, I mean, everybody has their opinion on all that too, right? Which is good and bad all in the same time. It depends on what climate you're in, right?
Yeah. I know Chris over at HBI Guy gets a lot of grief for spray canning and everything, but you know what? I'm not going to say anything bad about him because he builds a lot more models than I do. He actually gets them done. Right. And I have a very bad thing about, like, I guess you'd call it a fear of failure. Like, I don't I want to go paint something, but I'm like afraid I'll ruin it because my airbrushing skills aren't great right now. I'm still learning. I mean, they come out decent, but so I kind of put off painting stuff, is like, I'm like, oh, well, okay, and I'll go do it, and then I'll look, what the hell did I wait so long for?
Right. Well, I mean, you're in what, California, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have pretty decent weather too. So, I mean,
right now, no. We're getting flood warnings now, and it's pouring outside. But yeah, they had we have a storm coming through, like the one we had at the beginning of the year, and it's like really, really nasty outside. So, but yeah, during the summer, I can go out. I don't worry about humidity too much. That's why I bought a spray booth and an airbrush and stuff, because I wanted to paint in the house, during the winter time when it was nasty outside or cold or something. I can just paint in the house. So.
No, nothing wrong with that. They're just, you got to make sure, it doesn't get too hot or too cold, right? Yeah.
Well, it's not too hot in my house because PG&E is soaking me up the behind for the cost of natural gas. So I'm just like, I just keep it warm enough, I can paint it like within like the low 70s, so I know I can paint and not worry about it. But I think airbrushing, I guess you don't have to be so critical about temperature because it's not, you're putting on a thin coat.
I don't agree with that. Just being up here in Oregon, it can't be too cold.
Oh yeah, no, not too cold.
And it can't be too hot because it's drying before it hits,
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm. You said my house is like maybe 72 right now.
Yeah.
And I painted in the house and I don't have a problem. But you model in your garage, don't you? Yeah, I no. That was one of the specific things I was looking for when I decided I was going to rent a house. Was I wanted a spare room where I could work on my models and be comfortable and not, because I know a lot of guys that build their model train layouts in their garage. I know one guy in particular, and went to go visit him during the summer, and you're standing in his garage. He's got this beautiful layout, and you're sweating. You're just pouring down because it's like 85 degrees in his garage, and I'm like, oh, I need to be comfortable.
Well, I mean, I do have a spare room, but my brother needed a place to live.
Yeah.
So I rented it out to him,
Mm-hmm.
So that's why everything got moved out to the garage, because I was in one of those spare bedrooms.
Yeah.
Life gets in the way sometimes.
Yeah, I know exactly how that goes. Life gets in the way. That's what's happened to me. That's why I have a huge stash of unstarted models, because life got in the way. So, and
right.
I mean, I don't even know how many models I have. I have a bunch of stuff that I built. Like I said, when my son is 32. When he was like a year and a half, I would pick him up at the babysitter, bring him home, because my job, I started earlier than my, at that time, wife did. And we lived in a condo, and I had a desk and stuff out in the garage with a model train layout, small one. And I would put him in this thing that you hang in the door. My ex-wife and my mom call it a Johnny jump up. It's got a little chair, and it's got springs, and he would bounce around in the door, and I'd have trains running on the layout, and he'd be watching, and I'd be over at the desk building stuff. And a lot of the models I have that are finished now are all built when he was about a year and a half old. I don't have anything from then until a couple of years ago. I haven't built anything. I've done some model train stuff, but I've moved a lot and not really had a chance to, like, build. I'm hoping to build something in the spare room where I'm building models at. Hopefully someday.
Okay.
But
that's okay. So, did you have anything you wanted to show model car related, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm working on this. If people have been watching my channel, my Aoshima Toyota Chaser kit. I've got the body kit on it. It's pretty. I need to sand it some more, and it's gonna be fun to build. I'm looking forward to getting that done. Let me get this out of the way because I don't want anything to happen to it. I have this. I've shown this video of this, pictures of it on my. Make sure to get it out of the case, but this is the very first car that I ever modified. It's slowly kind of falling apart, but it's a AMT 49 Mercury that I chopped, and a friend of mine gave me the I think they're DeSoto hubcaps, and I built another one, the same kit stock, because the friend that gave me the DeSoto hubcaps was like, you need to build that car stock so people can see what the difference is. And I'm not going to dig that one out of the box, but you would probably be interested in this. If you can see her.
That's the Wednesday, right?
No, this is her mom. This is
okay.
This is Morticia. See if I can get her. There you go. This is the first resin kit I've ever started. I started this years ago. This is probably about 4 years old. I still got work to do to it. This would be like my first figure that I'll have ever painted. I think it's the Jimmy Flintstone casting, because Morticia. I don't believe Morticia was this busty, but it looks like her. It looks like Carolyn Jones. I was watching Chris Cortell over at Classic Plastic 101, watching some of his videos where he was painting figures. So I'm trying to, take some lessons from him to when I get done painting her. He gave me some advice about how to touch her up, because she's still got some stuff I need to do to her as far as this imperfections in the resin that I need to take care of. So
that's not printed. That's resin poured.
That's resin. Yeah, it's a resin. It's her arms. And if you can see, there it is. You can see the seam right there. That's where I got to touch up. And her arms were separate pieces. And I watched Chris's video about how to use floral wire to pin her arms on it and super glue them. So she's been waiting for some more work to get done. Yes.
Yeah.
I had a brain tumor, and that's nowhere near what Chris is going through. Well,
I haven't had a recent update on him in the last couple days, but I know it's not sounding very good. So yes.
Yeah, because he's been a big inspiration about me starting and actually getting into building. And I watch a lot of his videos, and he made a comment on one of my videos a couple weeks ago. But yeah, I really he's been a lot of help and doing modeling stuff and figure painting and stuff like that, and I wish him well. I hope I don't wish, being as a person who's also had cancer, I don't wish it on anybody. It's not a fun thing.
No, I totally, yeah. It's not, yeah. Oh.
So.
I did hear he had small improvement yesterday. Okay, that's more than I've heard.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear because he's, you know, it's been a rough year for him. It's been a rough year. And I hope he gets 100%.
I don't know how long I've been subscribed to his channel, but he seems to have had issues, you know, from the first time I started watching his videos, and I'm like, man, it's just something that can really, you know. He's being strong because I know a lot of people when I was in the cancer ward, a lot of people just give up, and I'm just glad he's not giving up. He's just, you know, keeps modeling, you know. Yes, he is. I agree. You know, like I said, he was an inspiration for me to start actually taking my YouTube channel seriously.
Right. So. No, I totally agree. That's who got me. That's who got me too. I have so much respect for that guy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So was there anything else you were wanting to show?
Like I said earlier, I know you're into Warhammer, so I've got all kinds of Warhammer stuff. I got one of the reasons I got this guy too is Andy over at Andy's Hobby Headquarters built a tank. I don't know if this is the one he built, or if this is just one similar to it.
I think it's the other one like that.
Yeah, it could be. One of the other things I want to do is stuff out of the way. Is I'm a big anime fan, and I want to build. I want to build this because This is the show my kids got me into watching anime by this show, and this swordfish ship is in the show a lot, and it's a Bandai kit. It's going to be a blast to build. I know that for sure. So,
and then you had the speeder, right?
The speeder.
Wasn't there another Warhammer thing you were going to show?
Oh, you're talking about this one?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. I watched some. Like I said, I've never played the game. My son has showed me some of the fan lore or fan made videos for it, and they just look like they'd be fun. You know, you could just do whatever you want, and you know, paint it however you want. And I think it'd be kind of fun to work on those. Like I said, I don't know much. There's a guy named Sam. Is Model Scale Chili or Chili Scale Models from New Zealand.
Yep.
He did a video where he painted some Space Marines, and I bought that set. So I'm gonna try and do that someday, eventually. I don't know when. Like with the rest of life, it's something that's gonna happen someday, eventually. So.
No, the speeder bike there. I've put that one together. It's actually a pretty cool kit.
Is it? I watched some videos about it.
Yeah, so you'll definitely have fun with that because there's just enough figures and stuff that go with it. It's not just one.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. There anything else model related that you do?
Besides the trains.
Yeah.
No, not really. A lot of stuff I want to do, I haven't got a chance to do yet. I mean, like I said, I got to build. I have ideas and plans for my spare room that I want to work on.
Yeah.
Trying to think of. No. I'd have to dig them out of the box. But
okay, so I'm gonna switch gears and we're gonna talk about railroad for a minute.
Okay, cool.
what are the different scales with railroad? Because there's more than one. I know this.
Yeah, yeah.
After that, I don't know.
There's HO scale. That's the most popular. I have HO scale stuff. I have N scale stuff. That's the main scale that I model in.
So break it down what the difference between the scales are as you're kind of going along too, if that helps.
HO scale is 1/87th. N scale is 1/160th. Unless, of course, and then we get really confusing because there's different. Right. There's N scale as far as standard gauge trains, which is like American N scale. But the Shinkansen in Japan is standard gauge, so it's 1/160th. The regular Japanese trains are narrow gauge, so they're 1/150th, if I remember correctly. Then there is there's S, which is 1/64th. Like a lot of the die-cast cars you get are 1/64th. Those are S scale.
Now, this is the one I think I know more about, because these are the ones that can actually, they're big enough to be outside, right?
That's G scale. I guess you could have S scale outside. There's people in Britain that do their 00 gauge stuff outside. I don't know how they do it, but 00 gauge is about the same scale as HO. It's British. I have some British trains too, because I just like trains. But like American Flyer is S scale. Yeah, 9mm between the rails. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. Like I said, I know a little bit, and that's really not enough.
Yeah.
That's why
I'm not by any means any expert. There are people that, know every detail about stuff. Like my favorite railroad is the Western Pacific, which is a local railroad. It was a local railroad around here, and there are people that I'm friends with who used to work for the WP. They know everything about the WP. They can tell you, they collect bookwork, like bookkeeping stuff that was around. They've got all kinds of cool stuff. Yeah, HO is half O. That's why it's HO.
Oh, okay.
But there's
no. It's. Now talk about the diorama part of this hobby, because you get train set. I mean, are you setting it up on an actual table, or are you doing it just on the floor?
Oh, my layouts have always built on like a table, or when I built the layout, because I rent this house, I don't want to mount anything to the wall, so I'm going to build it in sections, like table sections, and then each section I can take apart. If I have to move for whatever reason, I can take them and I can put them in another room in a different house. I'd like to do a diorama for my trains, just to take pictures, take photographs of some of my stuff, because sadly a lot of my model trains I've owned for 10 or 15 years, and I've taken them out of the box, took a photo of them and put it back in the box, and they've never actually been operated. Because I've never had the room. When I was living up in Santa Rosa, I had no room for a model train, or any of my trains, so they basically were just stayed in the boxes.
Yeah, because some of these train sets, they could. I mean, there's a lot to them.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then there's like ones you put around the Christmas tree, but.
Oh yeah. The guy who has this layout in the garage I was talking about, his name is Jack Burgess. He is an expert on a railroad called the Yosemite Valley that I think they shut down in 1939 or 40. He is the president of the Historical Society. His layout is in his garage is amazing. I have pictures of it on my Facebook page, because I've actually got to visit with my friend John. My friend John, that's his YouTube channel. He's into trains, like I am. But okay. His layout is specific to August of 1939, I think. But nothing. He's scratch built all the buildings on the layout, and he's got photos that he's recreated on his layout of scenes that he's found of the YV back in 1939, and his layout is beautiful. It is amazing. I can never imagine having anything that big. So I'm kind of trying to keep mine small because I usually do stuff by myself. So, you know.
I get that. So talk about some of the stuff you need to build a diorama.
Wood, lots of lumber.
They have that carpet grass or whatever, right?
Not me. No, I use static grass. I think Andy's used it.
So what's the difference? And why not use that compared to the other?
Well, because like when I make mountains and stuff, which where I plan on modeling, there won't be much in the way of mountains. It's mostly flat out here. But you like make the rolling ground, then you put. Some people use styrofoam insulation, and you carve it to how you want it to look. Then you can paint it, and then you take the stuff, static grass, and all this stuff, woodland scenic stuff, and you sprinkle it all over the surface where the glue is and everything, and that's how you make grass and stuff. It's not that easy. I'm just,
Okay. No, I was just curious because, I mean, you would think just because I saw them at Hobby Lobby, there's these 10 by 20 sheets. Yeah. And they're just like grass looking.
Yeah. That kind of stuff, though, is like so uniform and it's just flat like a lawn. So real grass is all different colors, and it's like thick in some places and not so thick in other places. And the realism, you got to mix stuff together. And I'm looking forward because I don't think I've ever built a layout that had scenery on it. Everything I've ever done has been like started, got the track down, got it wired, trains were running, and then I had to move. Yeah, or something happened in my life where I couldn't finish doing what I wanted to do. So I have yet to have an actual finished operating layout. Of course, the old adage is, no layout is ever finished, but.
Right. No, yeah. I mean, it's kind of interesting when you look at some of the train layouts and some of the my hobby store. That's what keeps it in business is the train stuff. So they have tons of train stuff there. So I know a little bit. Just
yeah. I don't have a dedicated model train shop near me. The closest one I think is in Concord. The place I order stuff from is up in Yuba City, which is like 3 hours from here. I get my stuff.
That's up by Reading, right?
Yeah, it's it's funny because I go there when I go up there. There's a Sunsweet plant that's like a block away from where the train store is, and I've never been to the place. I keep wanting to actually get up there someday.
The hobby store, there's a big train convention or something there, right? Railroad convention there or something. Somewhere around in that area. It's up by Reading.
I don't know if there's I know there's a train museum in Sacramento.
Oh, maybe that's what it is.
It's that place is nice. I love going there. That place is just absolutely amazing. It's unless you're talking about, there's a museum that I went to many years ago in Portola that I actually got to operate a diesel locomotive, courtesy of a girl I was dating. That was awesome. That was a blast because I'm going to build a model of that engine, that locomotive, when I get around to it someday. I've got the same locomotive in my collection that I'm going to repaint one of these days. Another one of those one of these days types of things.
So how hard is it to repaint some of that stuff? Is it not any different than anything else?
No,
or
not any different than painting a model car, just smaller. Are
you going to do all the graffiti on the side?
No, I don't like. My layout is going to be based in between 19 somebody joked with me because my favorite passenger train is the California Zephyr, and it ran until 1970. And I also want to have the railroad that I like had a lot of interchange and swapped motive power with the Burlington Northern. Well, the Burlington Northern was formed in about 3 months, but right before, I think it was 3 months right before the passenger train ended. So there's like a 3-month window that I have of the Burlington Northern when it first formed. There was trains with all the different locomotives of the different railroads that it acquired that all merged together on trains that would come down from Oregon that would come down into California. And I was like, that's what I want to model because a lot of those railroads are like ones that I really like. So
the sad part is now a lot of that stuff has been torn out and made into like what do you call it? Scenery bike paths or bike touring.
Yeah, the subsidiary of the Western Pacific that came down here was called the Tidewater Southern, and it went down 9th Street here in Modesto. And I remember those days when I would come out here and you could see the train going down the middle of the tracks. Well, about not even a mile from my house is where the Tidewater Southern comes down from Stockton, and it is now a footpath, and it goes across the street that's out here that I live off of, and it goes down into downtown. And it was like somebody was talking about it on a Facebook page, and I was like, "You mean that the bike path place?" And he goes, "Yeah, that's it." And I'm like, "Damn." One thing I would like to say is that if there's anybody that does model cars, because somebody mentioned a place, somebody mentioned on Lucas C's Facebook page that there was a hobby shop in Oakdale that was closing, and I never knew about it because when I moved out here, I Googled hobby shops, and the only thing that comes up is Hobby Lobby, and there's like a hobby town that I go to, because there's like 3 Hobby Lobbies here. There's one in Turlock, there's one here in Modesto. Actually, there's one of that. There's one in Stockton. There's one in Tracy. I think there's one in Manteca. And I never found this place until like about maybe 6 months. No, not even 6 months. A couple of weeks before it closed. And I never could get to it because they were closed on my day off. And all these guys were saying, they all live around the area. I'm like, because I go to a hobby town that's not too far from my house because I like to try and support the local guy.
Yeah.
And they, I know where that hobby town is, and I haven't heard anything since. So I'm like going, where'd you guys go? Because I live in Modesto, and I imagine most of the people watching know that Modesto is where American Graffiti was set, because I think George Lucas grew up here. And there's all this stuff. They have graffiti nights, and there's all this stuff painting on the walls about American Graffiti and stuff. I think there's even a statue a couple of miles from my house downtown of a guy leaning on a Chevy or something like that. And there's real car clubs here. There is no model car clubs here. The closest ones are in Fresno or Sacramento.
Huh.
Which I would think
I don't know.
I'm like going, how can this city that bases so much on car culture not have at least one car club? I don't know how that works.
Well, I mean, how far are you from LA, right? You're that's in between San Francisco and LA, right?
Yeah, I'm out in the Central Valley.
Yeah. So I know that the modeling scene in LA is pretty big. I don't know about San Francisco. I mean, with ILM, I would assume there's something.
I've actually been to ILM. That place is cool. You wouldn't even know it's there. I delivered one of the companies I used to work for used to deliver seating, like chairs and stuff, and they ordered a bunch of theater seats for the theater where they used to preview movies at, and I delivered the seats there. You wouldn't know it's there. There's no sign. It's like an industrial complex. If you wouldn't even know it was there. And I went in there to deliver, and they have the thing from the top of the Statue of Liberty from Ghostbusters that they're all up in. They have that. They have the painting of The bad guy in the second movie that's in the painting. Whatever, I can't remember
Virgo
what
or
yeah,
Farad.
Virgo. Yeah. That guy. They got him hanging in the receiving department. It was very cool. Um, I know there's a chapter, an IPMS chapter. I think in San Jose. San Jose is not too far away. My friend John lives in San Jose. The guy that has TSG Multimedia.
Oh, okay.
So I go there once.
But in San Francisco, all like the ILM had all the guys that used to make the models. Well, they all went and made their own little shops and stuff
Yeah.
up there in San Francisco. I know that, but I don't know. I don't even know if they're still around. Right? It's just
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if they're around either. The closest I've been to anybody at ILM is I've been to the MythBusters shop M5. I found it with a friend of mine and got my picture taken out in front of it because that was like a bucket list thing to do.
nice.
But I'm hoping, I'm really thinking there's when I lived in Santa Rosa, I used to go to a hobby shop called Fundemonium. They're in Rohnert Park, and that's where a lot of the model kits I have right now are from, because I would pretty much go every payday to this place and buy stuff. They're having a IPMS show. Is it IPMS? Whatever, the Plastic Modeler Show there on May the 20th, and I'm thinking about taking the day off. I'm going to because it's on a Saturday. I'm hoping to go. I'd rather drive. I hate drive. I drive in the Bay Area in a semi every day. I hate going to the Bay Area. People just have not a care in the world about how the traffic is or anything. So I've.
Idiots are everywhere, so you can't really avoid them.
Yeah, I know. They're out here too. They're out here like just as nuts. That's why when I went to the concert on Wednesday, I took Bart. I said, I'm not driving no.
I mean, it's really interesting that part of California too. You know what I mean? With like all the stuff that like movie wise, and you would think a lot of stuff would be, somewhat closer to LA, but it's really more up around your area is where all the movie stuff originated from.
Yeah. I lived in Santa Rosa. They actually filmed part of Peggy Sue Got Married, because they have a Peggy Sue cruise in Santa Rosa, and they have, I think, part of Petaluma. Some of the downtown parts were in that movie. So they have their big thing, like Modesto has graffiti nights. They have in Santa Rosa, they have what's called the Peggy Sue Cruise. And they closed downtown, and all the guys would come out with their hot rods and drive around in circles and park and go walk around and BS and stuff. That's one of my favorite things to do. Me and my buddy go to car shows a lot. We go to the Autorama in Sacramento, go to the Good Guy show in Pleasanton, and I get all kinds of ideas. And people look at me funny because I'm like looking under cars and taking pictures of the bottom of somebody's car. And they're like, "What are you doing?"
Well, I mean, being in California, that's like the car club culture, like everywhere in California.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
In the summertime, I mean, you could go to a different car show every weekend.
Oh yeah, they have a bunch of them here. Yeah, my buddy and I, when I used to live in Santa Rosa, he lives in Petaluma, or he lives in Rohnert Park, and worked in Petaluma when I worked there. Him and I go to car shows all the time, not as much as we used to do because I'm a little farther out, but we used to go to, like I said, Autorama, Sacramento, which is a big, huge car show. Any kind of car you want to see is there. We'd go to the International Auto Show in San Francisco and see all the new cars, and go to there was a Concord Elegance in Hillsboro, whereas like ritzy people go to. They got a lot of brass air cars, and they have a specific genre of the year. Saw the first was it S50 Mustang the body style that they're just about to replace. I saw my first one there, and him and I used to go to. There was another Concord Elegance in Danville, which is another ritzy neighborhood here, and it's in the Bay Area, and go see cars. And I get a lot of inspiration for building stuff at these shows. It's a lot of fun. I like to go into that stuff.
So, do you have anything else you want to show model related?
No, not really. I think I got to about everything out of my system.
Because we're almost an hour.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I knew a little bit about you, so we got to learn quite a bit about you. And I just found out like yesterday, the day before, you were into trains. So
yeah.
Like I said,
trains is my lifelong passion. I models and real ones. People, the dog from Up that goes squirrel. That's me when I see trains. It's like train. I hear a train. I'm like, I hear you.
Right.
That's one of the great things about my job, though, is that I probably see a train every day, so that's always cool.
That's cool.
So.
But since we've hit almost an hour, did you have any questions for me?
Yeah, I actually wrote some stuff down. You did a video once. There was a female figure in blue in the background. I was going to ask you what that was. I don't remember what.
Female figure in blue.
Yeah, it was like a blue female figure that you had in the background. Is that? I'm like looking in the picture and I forgot which you were doing one of these videos, and there was a figure that you were doing. I don't know if you 3D printed it or her. I think it was her.
Blue.
I thought it was blue.
That might be Superman. Because it might be actually this one. Are you talking about this one?
Maybe.
It's not blue. It's more of a purple color.
Oh, okay.
It probably.
Yeah, maybe that was it. Now we were showing it. Yeah, right. See, that's what I want to do with because I have a couple of other plastic model kits that I bought that are 1/24 scale, I think they are, that I want to work on, that I bought, and I think I have a Hasegawa figure. It goes with a couple of car models I bought for them. Yeah, I think that was it.
Yeah. And then we just finished this one up this last weekend, and there's going to be a third one of these that we're going to do for that way.
Those are all you 3D print those?
No, these are resin casted.
Kind of like my Morticia.
Yeah. It's Hings. Oh man. Hings modeling. I don't have the name off the top of my head. But yeah, I mean that's some of the cool stuff I've been doing lately. I've learned so much with doing those things with Gil. I mean, it's crazy how far. Like I've taken skin tones, and now we're starting to use these pan pastels. And then, where'd it go? Oh. And then I didn't want to spend a whole bunch of money. And I have a bunch of family that are into art. So my aunt was telling me, instead of getting the whole set of these, grabbing the soft pastels and using those in the same way.
Yeah, that's like there's companies that make stuff like that to weather your trains with, and I'm like, I think I have some of those. I don't think I've ever used them, just because I haven't got a chance to do any of that kind of stuff yet. But Yeah, that's one thing I learning from Chris was he was painting. I think he was painting a Catwoman, his Catwoman figure that he did from one of
Yeah.
the Michael Keaton Batman movies.
Yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer that he
Hmm.
did, and he was talking about. I think that was the one he was talking about how to make your own flesh tones with colors. And I'm like going, that's not going to make flesh tone. And he mixes it, and I'm like, oh wow, that came out nice. Kind of want to do that with my Morticia, but it's going to be practice, practice, practice. Just like
Yeah.
airbrush.
If you go into Red Dragon Model Works and it's called Way of the Dragon, um, and we have probably 10 video. He's got 10 videos up there now. I'm in a couple of them.
Okay.
The next series I'm not going to be into it unless it warms up quite a bit. Yeah, see this guy. We've been doing the tutorials for painting the figures, and
Okay.
I know I've learned a lot from Gil, so it's awesome. And
Yeah.
there's all kind, like they're gonna do a car body at some point. They're gonna do a ship.
Yeah.
They're branching into other things in the future, so it'll be.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, because I have, like you said, I go into car shows. I have all kinds of ideas bouncing around in my head, collecting parts. I want to build a Pro Street 65 Impala because I love 65 Impalas. I want to build. I have an AMT 32 Vicky that I want to mod. I want to build it the way I would build one if I had the money and the time to build my own car. I've got some Kelsey Hayes wire wheels for it. I got small block Chevy for it. Oh, yeah, okay. I can't even paint a 125th scale figure. In scale would just be blop some flesh tone, blop some color for the other stuff.
I believe it or not, the Warhammer stuff. I mean, you'll get practice with it.
Yeah, there was a time when I was a member of Phil Flory's that is his webpage, Flory Models. He's in Britain. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. He had a build going on, but doing figures or something, and I picked I still have it. I haven't finished yet. It's a Diamond Select Deadpool figure, specifically picked because I wouldn't have to do any flesh tones on it. Still have it. I haven't finished it. It's still packed in the box, but I was having fun building it. One of those things life got in the way. So I'll get around to finishing it someday. It's going to be a very cool. HPI guy did a video about 6-8 years ago. Did a video, and that's why I bought it because it looks like it'd be fun. I love Deadpool.
So what was your next question? You said you had a couple written down.
I can't remember what the other one was. Yeah, I wrote down something. Not so much a question for you, but like for a group, I would like to do a group build, sponsor a group build for like doing a JDM kind of thing. Because somebody, I don't know if it was Dan's Model Garage. I watched one of his videos and he was talking about how he loved JDM cars, and I would like to, like sometime maybe later in the year, somebody with a little bit more better channel recognition than me go in with me to do a JDM group build, because like I said, I love JDM cars, and it'd be cool to like just do it, like host a group build or something like that sometime in the future. I don't know when it would be, but
Well, I mean, I'm sure if you find someone that'll, it's getting a whole group of people to do it.
That's the whole thing.
Right. So it's a roll of the dice on whether you want,
Yeah, that's why I was kind of hoping for somebody with more name recognition than I am. I mentioned it in a comment to Jason, because he built that Isuzu coupe that he did. It came out really nice,
Yeah.
So I was like, he was, if he's interested in doing it or somebody else, I don't know yet. But I'll get to it eventually. So.
Okay. Did you have any other questions?
No, I think I'm good.
You good?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, this has been fun.
Yeah.
I probably went off the rails a couple of times because I'm like maybe have ADHD, so I get a conversation going, I go off into this other direction.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
306 and Supras. Yeah,
GTR, those are cool.
I have a bunch of GTR kits. Yeah, I have new ones. I have old ones. My favorite GTR is the original one from '69 or '70. The four-door one, the Hakuska, they call it, the boxy Skyline. I love those so much. I just love they look like a basic four-door sedan, and I have those. I have a Prince Skyline, like that was your predecessor of the GTR. I have a bunch of stuff.
No, I mean that's super cool. Where did that go? Wait for it to cool off. It'll pop off. I'm actually Print just finished, and it's the body for Galactus. It's gonna be about that tall.
I'm tempted to get a 3D printer, but like a couple of other people have said, that's a rabbit hole I'd go down and I would never come out of. I mean, I can think of, designing stuff I don't think I could ever do, but I have some 3D printed stuff for some model car stuff. I got some Iceman collection stuff that's really cool. I've bought model train parts, detail parts off of Shapeways, and I keep looking because the WP had a specific style of headlight on their diesel locomotives.
Yeah.
And excuse me, I have some. The company that originally made them went out of business, so I have a few, and I'm tempted to do resin casting. Make a mold and make the headlights for my trains, because I still have a bunch that need the headlights and I don't have enough to do all of them. But I have a few spares that I haven't put on anything yet.
Yeah, like Todd just said, it's a steep learning curve, but I think he's kind of understanding a little bit more after I kind of helped him a little bit.
Yeah, I would. It looks like it's like a whole hobby in itself, because I know Chris has been printing figures on his printer, and I'm like, oh god, man, I could just print all kinds of all this stuff, because I am terrible about. I have collections of stuff that my ex-wife just says, why do you have all this crap? Hot Wheels. I have like stacks and stacks of anime figures that I've collected over the years. I probably have 100 or so, and I have no place to put them yet because I don't have any cabinets to put them in. And that's all I need to do is start printing is like anime girls off a 3D printer. That would just be, but
it's all about what you want to do, right? The possibilities are endless with 3D printing.
Oh, I know. I already have too much to do just without it. I don't, and as much as I work, I usually don't. I can only work like on weekends, and one day of my weekend is doing my laundry until I can get a washer and dryer here, so I don't have to go somewhere to go do laundry. So.
I've had those days. I understand.
Yeah. Well, because there's a laundromat not too far from my house, but you have to stay there and watch your stuff, or it'll walk off. And I go to my ex-wife's house, and she lives she lives 40 minutes away, I guess, on the other side of the valley. I go to her house. I could do my laundry there, and then we can go shopping, go have lunch, do other things, and I don't have to worry about my clothes, running off without me. Whereas if I have a laundromat, I can't go anywhere. So,
right.
And going to a laundromat, it's expensive. It's ridiculous. I drive for a company called Chima. They're California, Arizona, and Washington and Oregon. I think the head office is up in
Washington.
Washington somewhere.
Yeah.
Since you're in Oregon, you might see their trucks.
Yep.
They're probably all.
Todd's in Medford.
Oh, okay.
He's not really too far from you. I think I'm closer to him than maybe you are, but
Yeah. Well, so where are you at? Because I mean, you mentioned you got snow the other day when I was watching one of your videos.
So I am in the Eugene area.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't been to Oregon in years. When I was a kid, my parents and I used to go road tripping, and we went up to Canada, going all the way up 5, went through Portland and Seattle, and never been to Spokane. So, but there's like you said, a couple of the railroads I like are all Burlington Northern, BNSF is like by my house.
Yeah.
I pass BNSF on my way to work every day when I go the back way, so I live in a triangle of trains. I got Burlington Northern, Santa Fe, not too far from me in Riverbank. The UP runs down 99 on my way home, and then there's a little small railroad that I actually have a locomotive of, the Modesto and Empire Traction, which is south of me, about a mile from where I live.
Yeah. See, let the build cool. This is gonna be. That's the body. So, like I said,
What is that again? It
it's
almost
the
looks like
body to Galactus.
oh, okay. That's gonna be huge then.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So
now I just got to rip everything apart.
yeah, that's one of the things, because I got that stuff from Iceman for my my Fox body Mustang, and I'm like gonna have to like cut all the pieces, the carburetors and stuff off the little support things. Those are supposed to be easy to just snap off, right?
Well, it depends on how we did it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the guy should take them off, though. I mean,
I don't mind.
I mean, I don't know. I believe if you're going to be selling 3D prints, you need to do the whole process.
Yeah, I guess some people do. I think Rick over at Rusty Rotor, he'll do it for you if you want. Because he's 3D print stuff, but I don't mind. It's like people complaining about flash and mold lines and stuff like that. And I'm just like, well, it's part of the modeling process. I don't care. And I was telling somebody, I get this weird kind of satisfaction. I don't know if it's because, like you said, I might have ADHD, but I like getting in there and sanding stuff and making it nice. There's a therapeutic kind of deal with it when you're working on something to make it look good.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
So I don't mind that kind of stuff. Like the 510, there was parts on it that were like the whole thing was surrounded by flash, and you had to, snap it all off and clean it up and everything. So.
But anyway, yeah. If you don't have any more questions for me, I think I'm gonna end this. Thank you for coming on. I'm glad we were able to make this work, right?
Yeah, that's cool. I'm glad. And one thing, if you're like I am, a fan of music, I recommend, no matter what you do, go see your favorite band. Because I went to go see these ladies Wednesday for my birthday, because my birthday was Tuesday, and seeing a band that's not popular yet, seeing them in a small theater, there was like 470 people. They were awesome. And your opinion of seeing a band will change when you see them live. Some people don't get to see, an up and coming band when they're small, and they, some of them need the support. but it was so much fun to go see that band. And I've gone to see a couple of bands live that I like, and it's just I'm so much more of a fan now than I was before. When you just see videos or see you watch a YouTube video of that they've done or something, it's just awesome.
All right, man.
So,
But I'm gonna take you off screen, and I'll talk to you in a couple minutes.
okay, cool.
Thank you for coming on. I'm glad.
Thanks for having me. It was
and
great.
I will see you in a minute.
Alrighty.
All right. All right, everybody. So that's John from JD's House of Hobbies. So we got to. Hopefully, you guys learned as much as I did today. And so this weekend, there's the 48-hour group build build on Models Officers YouTube channel. It's been going all weekend. Hopefully, you guys get a chance to check it out. They've been, I think they're still giving stuff away and talking about the hobby, but it's all the proceeds go to Model for Heroes, and it's a really cool organization over in the UK. So hopefully you guys go check it out. I will see you guys next time.